The Cade Rutolo Andrew Tackett match was absolutely sensational. One of the best matches in the history of Jiu-Jitsu.
In her competitive career, and ladies and gentlemen, Craig Jones quickly.
There is a physical difference between men and women regardless of what you say. All I know is that money is now a big topic in Jiu-Jitsu, and we might play on that.
Everyone eats round here, right? Yeah, everyone eats. I've been on top of my shit. Walk with a brick. Debo come now, you walk with a limp. When them zeros come.
Hello there, it's Monday. I'm on the way to the warehouse, as you can see, to drop off some of the stock that I picked up on Saturday, which you would have seen in last week's video if you were watching. And if you weren't watching, you should have been. Now go watch it. Actually, no, don't. Wait till the end of this video and then go and watch it. I'm dropping off. It's a restock of the instant gi in white and black. Some blue instant gis, very limited drop, which to be honest probably won't even make it to the website because a few people have requested them. They're getting first access to it. If you want first access to products in the future, get on the email list and be active with replying, responding, DMing, tagging us on social media posts, etc. There's also some Arabica gis in there, which are the gis that have been exclusively for athletes up to now. Well, they actually still are technically, but there are a couple again going out for exclusive first access people, and then they will be dropped at this stage, I would say mid-October. And we have a couple of sample kids gis in there as well that are going to Austin Daffron in Seattle, as he has recently opened his first gym, his own gym, Definitive Jiu-Jitsu in Seattle. So if you're in that part of the world, go and check him out. He's the current combat jiu-jitsu bantamweight champion. Is this very bright? No, it's very dark. I don't know. Anyway, bright again. Oh well. So where was I? Check him out. In the meantime, we're going to work on, I want to send those over to him and make sure that the sizing is okay, and then work on our own kids range and start getting kids apparel out there, reaching the masses. One thing that I didn't speak about last week is the business acquisition, the brand acquisition, the acquisition that I was speaking about a few weeks ago. You may remember I had a couple of phone calls, a couple of meetings, did a bit of analysing of figures and data, etc. On the back of the funding rejection last week that we had, I decided that now is not the right time to acquire another business. Let's just focus on this one for now. So I've put that one on the back burner. I sent the guy an email last week just to say, fill him in essentially and say, look, it's the valuation that he was looking for is a little bit higher than I wanted. I was going to counter offer until we had the funding rejection, so it's not worth it for me at the moment. Time and effort and finances have to go into this. This being Coffee&Kimuras. So that's where we are with that. That is on the back burner for a while. It is something that I'd like to come back to down the line. It is a brand that I would like to be involved with. He did say that he was going to do a little bit towards the end of this year himself. He was going to invest a little bit back in it, get it back up and running and going again. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be very interested to keep an eye on it and see what he does, how he does it, and what results he gets from it. So I'll be keeping a close eye on that. In the meantime, I have some other ideas. I need to stop getting distracted by ideas and just work on what I'm working on. But a couple of ideas that are timely. I'm going to get back onto Jerry as well about the sub-vault idea and see what we can do around that. There's a Eurofighting Championship show on, I think, the 15th of September or something like that. So I'll see if Decky fancies running a match on that. I don't really want to do too many more test matches. I'd rather run it on a jiu-jitsu event. I want to get it out of a cage. I want to get it in front of a jiu-jitsu audience. So we'll see what opportunities come up for that. Alright, that's pretty much the update. I have to get this stuff dropped off to the warehouse and get back to the site because we have our first floor is being installed today and our stairs. All very exciting. We're moving up, literally and figuratively. Alright, see you in a while. What's happening? It's Tuesday morning. I'm on the way into the office. Yesterday was a fantastic day. We have first floor slabs and we have stairs in the gaff. Very happy. I'm now going into the office. It is 8:30 and we have quite a couple of calls and a few team meetings and a few things to catch up on today and realign, because the last couple of weeks just with people being off on annual leave that time of year, so a lot of projects have kind of dragged on. I mean annual leave in terms of internally as well as clients and leads as well, so a lot of catching up to do realignment and get back in the game.
Everyone eats round here, right? Yeah, everyone eats. I've been on top of my shit. Walk with a brick. Debo come now.
Oh baby, what a weekend. What a weekend. It is Monday morning now. Why is it Monday morning and the last clip was Wednesday? So I had a wedding on Thursday, a day 2 on Friday, a long day of personal stuff on Saturday, and pretty much have not been in full form all weekend. But what did happen at the weekend was Craig Jones Invitational and the ADCC 2024. What a weekend for grappling. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, I didn't watch anything from ADCC. I have not seen one clip. I have not seen any highlights. I have seen absolutely nothing. I've seen about 4 seconds of a live stream from day 1 on Saturday. Why is that? Well, I'm not going out of my way to watch it, pretty much. I don't have a Flow Grappling subscription. I'm not getting one. And I just refused to get one. And I could watch the highlights. I probably will watch some submission highlights, etc. And I just kept an eye on the results. Obviously, there were some shocks. I wouldn't call Gary Tonin being beaten a shock, but Mateusz Szczecinski is very, very good. But Gary Tonin is also focused on MMA. We saw that in the last ADCC with Sam McNally shocking the world. I suppose the one real shock was Marigali getting submitted, which was interesting. But I have to say, Craig Jones pulled off an absolute masterstroke. That event was sensational. I do think that the karate combat, pit wall style, alley, whatever they want to call it, is potentially the future of jiu-jitsu. Makes it way more exciting, way less time waiting on resets, way less referee interpretation of resets. Resets alone, even for myself in competition, really irritate me. So I was glad to see that. Put an idea in my head, more ideas in my head. It's put an idea in my head for how we could do the sub-vault matches. I think if I was going to do it, that's going to be the way to do it. I think any legitimate jiu-jitsu organization, jiu-jitsu invitational, it's probably better from an invitational point of view with single matches on at once. Could be cool to do like an ADCC setup with 3 side by side though, but we'll see. I think any legitimate jiu-jitsu promotion should be considering it, because I do think it's way more exciting, very, very interesting. We saw, I think the commentators kind of overemphasized how athletes were using creativity around using the wall as a, what would you call it, a supplementary aspect to technique, or being creative with how they can use it with certain techniques. There were a couple of glimpses of what can be done. To be honest, I thought there'd be more. I thought some people would have been a bit more creative with it. I thought some people would have utilized it a bit more, especially considering, say, the Tackets had built the wall in their gym months ago, and a couple of other guys have built it in the gym as well, obviously the B team. But yeah, I just, maybe there isn't that much to it. Maybe it's not the advantage or the potential advantage that we think it could be, or who's we, I don't know, that I think it could be. It's probably more of a disadvantage than anything, so staying away from it is probably the main thing, or staying on the right side of it, as in, like, you don't really want to be using the cage in a cage match, in a MMA match, in a cage jiu-jitsu match, but it's probably a similar kind of thing to that. But I have to say, obviously the Cade Rutolo Andrew Tackett match was absolutely sensational. One of the best matches in the history of jiu-jitsu. I saw someone say that it could be the Forrest Griffin Stephen Bonner for jiu-jitsu. Don't know about that. I'd like to think it could be. Hopefully it is, but I don't know if I'd stretch that far. But it definitely was exciting, and would be a match that I would point people towards watching if they're not from a jiu-jitsu background. Nicky Rod was, yeah, very impressive. A lot more impressive than I thought it was going to be. Not that I didn't give him a chance, obviously I gave him a chance, but he's a lot more technical now than I thought he could ever be. He really impressed me, really, really impressive. His physical fitness is astronomical. He wasn't out of breath, it almost seemed like, at all, until the finals match, and even then he was still ready to celebrate. Obviously won $1 million, so why wouldn't he be? But yeah, he's very, very impressive. And then obviously there's the Craig and Gabby match, which I probably... maybe I got sucked into toxic masculinity a bit too much and was like, I know Gabby legitimately has a chance, Craig will be in trouble here, but he made it look so easy. And I think that PC stuff aside, should be a lesson to everybody in 2024, after some controversies in the Olympics, that there is a physical difference between men and women regardless of what you say. I don't know how many pounds Craig gave up. I don't know what the weigh-ins were. He gave up a big size differential, height and weight, and was still able to dominate Gabby quite easily while smiling, laughing, and clearly taking the piss out of it. And yeah, to be honest, it looked to me like Gabby was almost letting him do what he wanted after a while, which I doubt. So yeah, if it was as easy as it looked, that should be a real lesson to everyone in 2024 and beyond about male versus female competition, regardless of your perspectives, your political beliefs, whatever you want to call it. It looked far too easy and much easier than I thought it was going to be. But the whole event in general was, I think, a big success. I'm not boycotting ADCC by any means. It's so much easier to watch a YouTube live stream, which has also kind of sparked that thought in my head about if we do Subvault in the future, that maybe pay-per-view isn't the way to go. There's another aspect of it in terms of the actually raising funds. Yeah, fair enough. CGI had a good backer behind them to allow them to be able to do that, so that makes it helpful. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if and when they do it again. I assume they will do another event because it went so well. Be interesting to see if this private financial backer is willing to go to the same extent again. I'd be very surprised if they would. It must be someone very, very, very rich if they will. Hopefully they do though. But it would be great to see just that event run again, or even if it's not Craig Jones, even if it's not CGI, if it's a similar style of event run by someone else, just to see something like that again, I think it'd be very impressive. Could it be me that runs it? Possibly. Let's see. All I know is that money is now a big topic in Jiu-Jitsu, and we might play on that. All right, that's it for episode 65. See you next week. It's yeah. The